being the bigger person, all while being tired. You ever feel so tired, so overwhelmed, like, God, if I could only make it through this day. And then on top of that, you still have to go the extra mile when you have nothing left in the tank. Let's say it's for an additional task at work, or for a spouse, or for a mate, even for a child. When you have nothing else left in the tank. I got one better. You ever have to keep your peace when you know that you're right? Like, oh, okay, this isn't the time to prove my point. Well, my 15-year-old daughter says to me, you don't know me, and we don't have a relationship. By far the most piercing words I ever heard in my entire life. And I've heard a few, but this is how you handle it.
You gotta let them know
you're not alone.
Talk to him, Jimmy. Talk to him, Jimmy.
Love, baby.
Talk to him, Jimmy.
Talk to him, Jimmy.
You're not alone.
Talk to him, Jimmy.
I'm not alone.
You are
Talk
loved.
to him, Jimmy. Talk to him, Jimmy. Break it down.
You're loved.
Yeah. Talk to him, Jimmy. Talk to him.
You're needed. Now, everything I say is going to correlate to the one story. Now, I place this here first because you have to understand that if you lose sight on what's needed, then you'll never understand what it will take to be the bigger person, all while being tired. My oldest says to me, you don't know me and we don't have a relationship. Some of the most painful words I ever heard in my life. And I've been called some ungodly things before. But this right here was life-changing. And it takes life-changing in order for your life to start changing. So you gotta dig deep, you gotta find that driving force and multiply that by the ultimate goal. And then you'll know what it takes in order to bridge that gap. For example, my reply was, I'm your father, and I'm always going to be here. We will always have a relationship. Yeah, it may not be exactly what we both want, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes. But you're gonna have to meet me halfway. Because even at age 15, you're still gonna have responsibilities no matter what relationship you enter. You're not alone. Now, the only way to get out of this, you have to focus on the end goal. Because that means more than what you're currently seeing. So I reached out to my big brother, and you know what he said? He said, Jay, you already know what you have to do. Even if it's for an hour or two, you have to make the sacrifice. You gotta go see your daughters. Because these are the moments that will make a difference when you're not there. When the world is putting poison in their heads. She'll remember that whenever I need daddy, he'll never let me down. And then he says to me, you're not alone. What if the tables were turned? Would you want someone to be the bigger person even if they were tired? You're loved. And I can't reiterate this point enough. Because what happened, the love wasn't felt. You see, love is like a two-way street, but you gotta travel together. Oh, I'm going somewhere with this. You ever go on a road trip? Well, sometimes you gotta share the road. Sometimes you gotta guide while the other person drives. Sometimes you gotta communicate while the other person steers. Which basically means, keep me awake. Let me know that I'm not in this alone. But do it in a way that we both feel needed, that we both feel loved. Take the time to learn my love language. And I promise you that your time and effort will be rewarded with less arguing and frustration. So think about the times when you said you would make a difference. Think about the times when you said, if only the shoe was on the other foot. So what will you do with your now? Because the bigger picture means more than the moment. Moral of the story, if you have the chance, the opportunity to break this cycle, don't let anybody or anything stand in your way. Even if it's yourself. You're loved, you're needed, but more importantly, you're not alone.
You gotta let 'em know. Gotta let 'em know. Talk to him, Jimmy.
Talk to him, Jimmy.
Talk to him, Jimmy.
Bet, kid.
You're not alone.
Talk to
Keep
him,
them
Jimmy.
coming.
Talk to him, Jimmy.
You are loved.
Talk.
You're loved.